Don't tell anyone. These erotic words are eponyms. Venereal, sadism, even condom. What I mean is that these regular common words actually came from someone's name, either a name of a real person or a mythical fictional person. I include here under erotic words, words that are sexually or sensually related. And by the way, here's the deal. I prefer to keep my videos PG or family friendly. It's no joke. So even though these are erotic terms, I'm not going to be crude in the explanations. What I find interesting is how names have woven themselves into our vocabulary, and they reflect not just history, but human nature, our desires, our passions, our quirks, and sometimes our most colorful aspects. I bet you're curious. Stick around so you can be wise to the words. Someone's coming. The best eponym to start with is the word erotic. Erotic is an eponym with divine roots, at least according to the ancient Greeks, of course. Erotic is derived from Eros, the Greek god of love and sexual desire. Eros wasn't just about romance. He represented passion in all its forms. Over time, erotic came to describe anything connected to love and desire, particularly of the more sensual or sexual variety. Erotic. Aphrodisiac. Popular aphrodisiacs like oysters, chocolate, and certain spices have long been associated with arousing sexual desire. The term aphrodisiac itself is an eponym named after Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love and beauty. And it was over time that the word came to describe substances which were believed to enhance sexual desire and attraction. But it all goes back to Aphrodite. Venereal. When we hear the term venereal today, it's most often in the context of a sexually transmitted disease or infection, but its roots are originally more romantic, almost religious. The word venereal is an eponym derived from the name Venus, the Roman goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. For the longest time, venereal referred to anything related to love or sensual pleasure, reflecting Venus's role as the embodiment of desire. Eventually, the term became associated with diseases spread through intimate contact. Syphilis. Syphilis is a sexually transmitted infection or disease caused by the bacteria Treponema pallidum. It spreads primarily through sexual contact and is marked by sores, rashes, and if untreated, severe complications like organ damage or even death. Historically, its name comes from a 1530 poem by Girolamo Fracastoro, where Syphilis, a shepherd, is cursed by the gods with a horrific disease after blaspheming the sun god Apollo. The fictional character's name became synonymous with the STD, syphilis. Condom. One story links the word condom to a Dr. Condom, an alleged physician of England's Charles II, who reportedly recommended the use of animal skin sheets as protection and to stop him from having any illegitimate children. The word has since evolved into the common word for a prophylactic. The legend of Dr. Condom may have its roots in the 1667 poem of John Wilmot, titled Panegyric upon Condom. In this satirical work, Wilmot celebrates the invention of the condom, but whether or not Dr. Condom actually existed is a little uncertain. Lesbian is actually an eponym because it is derived from the proper name of the Greek island of Lesbos, where the ancient poet Sappho lived and composed poetry that expressed romantic and emotional affection between women. Whoa, wait a sec! Lesbos is an island. You said an eponym is named after a real person or a fictional character. I can't believe you would so blatantly lie to us like that. Unsubscribe. Come on, man, just calm down. An eponym can also be named after a place. This is technically what is called a toponymic eponym, or a toponym, and there's a ton of them. We'll go over them eventually. It happens all the time when something, a product, an idea, or even a person or a group of people is named after a geological location. A toponym. It's a kind of eponym. Relax. Over time, the name of the island became associated with same-sex female attraction due to Sappho's work. In fact, sapphic is also synonymous with lesbian. Sappho. From the island of Lesbos. Masochism. The term masochism is derived from Leopold von Sacher-Masoch, an Austrian writer famous for works that depicted the complex relationship between pleasure and pain, often involving humiliation and subjugation. His most well-known work, Venus in Furs, explores these themes in depth. As a result, masochism was coined to describe the tendency to derive sexual pleasure from pain or humiliation. Over time, the term expanded from literature to psychology. Masoch himself did not approve of this use of his name. That's the way eponyms go. Masochism has a buddy word that often goes along with it, and that word is sadism, as in the term sadomasochist. Sadism comes from the Marquis de Sade, a French nobleman and writer known for his scandalous and controversial works that explored the theme of deriving sexual pleasure from inflicting pain and suffering on others. His writings, often depicting violent and abusive relationships, led to the coining of the term sadism. Over time, sadism became a widely recognized term in both literature and psychology. So in a sense, masochism is passive, whereas sadism is active. Masochism derives pleasure and gratification from receiving pain and humiliation, whereas sadism receives pleasure by inflicting pain and abuse. Sadism. Priapism. The term priapism is named after Priapus, the Greek god of fertility, who is often depicted with an exaggerated, erect phallus, symbolizing male virility and sexual power. In mythology, Priapus was associated with fertility, garden growth, and sexual desire. The medical term priapism evolved to describe a condition characterized by a prolonged, often painful erection that is not associated with sexual desire. This condition can both be physically distressing and uncomfortable, and also medically concerning. It's a big problem. The term hooker is often believed to have originated from General Fighting Joe Hooker, a Union Army officer during the American Civil War. According to one theory, his army camps were frequently surrounded by women offering companionship to the soldiers. Over time, the association with Hooker's name and the women who provided these services led to the use of hooker as a colloquial term for a sex worker. While the exact origin is debated, this connection remains one of the most widely accepted explanations. Peeping Tom. The term peeping Tom is derived from the legend of Lady Godiva, an Anglo-Saxon noblewoman who, according to the story, rode naked through the streets of Coventry to protest high taxes imposed by her husband. The tale holds that only one person, a man named Tom, dared to look at her during her ride and was struck blind as punishment for his voyeurism. Over time, peeping Tom evolved into a term used to describe someone who spies on others, particularly for sexual gratification.
He's a peeping Tom.
The term pander comes from Pandarus, a character in Geoffrey Chaucer's Troilus and Chryside, who played the role of a go-between, facilitating a romantic liaison between the two main characters, Troilus and Chryside. Over time, pander evolved to describe someone who facilitates or encourages immoral or lascivious behavior, often in the context of matchmaking or procuring illicit or exploitative relationships. The term carries connotations of manipulation or exploitation, particularly in matters of sexuality. Pander. Tantalize. The term tantalize is derived from Tantalus, a figure in Greek mythology who was punished by the gods to suffer eternal hunger and thirst, with food and water forever out of his reach. His torment became symbolic of the act of tempting or teasing someone with something that they desire, but they can never attain. So over time, tantalize has come to mean to tease or to tempt, often carrying a seductive or sexual undertone. Tantalize. Pansexual. Inspired by the Greek god Pan, who was closely associated with nature and fertility and unrestrained sexuality. The term pansexual eventually evolved to describe attraction regardless of sex. Pan in Greek means all, as in the word pandemic. Demic, demos, the people, all people. Pan. Hermaphrodite. This term is derived from Hermaphroditus, the son of Hermes and Aphrodite in Greek mythology, who merged bodies with a water nymph and was transformed into a being with both male and female characteristics. The term is used in biology to describe an organism, often a human, with both male and female reproductive organs. Hermaphrodite. And I decided to add one more to this list. It's not overtly sexual, although it does have to do with a sexual characteristic, a female sexual characteristic, the breast. The word is Amazon. It's named after the legendary Amazons, a tribe of women warriors in Greek mythology, known for their strength and independence and fierce nature. These women were often depicted as powerful figures in battle, living in societies separate from men. But the word Amazon is derived from the Greek word Amazones, which is often thought to derive from the combination of two words, without, and mastos, meaning breast, amastos, Amazon. And this refers to the mythological belief that the Amazons would cut off one of their breasts to better wield weapons like the bow. I always found this etymology interesting. And there you have it, 18 or maybe 19 erotic eponyms. Did I miss any? Probably did. I wonder if I could seduce you. Maybe kiss that like button for me. And if you're not subscribed, the subscribe button.